The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community, bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's about town, Deb.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on November 2nd for About Town Deb's City Talk. As you'll notice, both Mary and I are not Debbie. So we wanted to say hello. We love you, Debbie. Our thoughts are with you and hugs are with you while you are out and away from your show. And we're so thankful that we got to dance along to your intro and have a great show ahead. So we have Mary Granger with us today from Prominence Health. We have Danny with our Hometown Heroes, who is a great community advocate and leader, and he will be coming on a little bit later. But first, we have to say what we're more thankful for than even Debbie, and that are the sponsors and the helpers that make today possible. So our sponsors we want to say thank you to today: GratisGives Processing, Wrye Plastic Surgeons, Surratt Law Practice, thank you, Kim, Rail City Reno Sparks, Wild River Grille, and of course, Christian, our producer or Wizard of Oz behind the screen with FenixMedia.us. Finally, an extra thanks to Courtney, Tucker, Jackal, and Chris over at Design on Edge for making today and everything about Deb and Wrye's life possible. So I wanted to get a kickoff. This is actually really cool. So we were just talking before we started that Mary is going to be doing her first drive to Las Vegas. And so Debbie's theme song, I feel like you could play all the way through there. And they would say, yeah, I know about town, Deb, you know, the gal that drinks the tea and knows about our community up in, you know, her little cowboy boots and cute hat.
Maybe we should test that. Maybe I should stop
it.
at every coffee shop every 5 minutes and say, do you know downtown Deb?
Exactly.
And I'll take a poll for you.
Exactly. And the other thing you could bring with her is we get so many questions, you guys, which is really exciting because we weren't sure how this would all play out about Debbie's wine. Now, everybody knows I'll drink any kind of wine, so I'm easy to please. But I will tell you, not just because I love Deb, but her wine is so great, and we have some exciting news. It is already in the Riverwalk District at Dorinda's, at Noble Pie. We've got it at Rail City Casino, the Shore Room at the Renaissance, which is so exciting. My favorite part, which is Urban Market. And soon, we're going to have it also at the Row, La Strada, and Roxy's, and of course at Mary Chewy's, which is downtown. We're in Midtown. So go and check it out. All those places. You can get some wine from Deb, and next time you tune into the show, you can have a glass while you watch. So our quote of the week is by Mother Teresa, and it says, "Peace begins with a smile." And I thought that was such a cute way to start our November. Now that it's November 1st, we got to enjoy Nevada Day, Halloween, you know, all those little trick-or-treaters that were so cute, and going through all the areas, which was nice to see this year. Because last year, we cheated. We still gave out candy for Halloween. But this year was more open and people got to really participate, which is good. So with that, peace begins with a smile is such a sweet thing. And I think for me, the thing that would resonate most for is probably all of my animals at home, because they're not peaceful by any means, but they are very sweet and they do make me smile. What's the first thing that you think of when you have that quote?
Well, I think a smile is universal. It doesn't matter where you live in the entire universe. People recognize it as a symbol of peace and welcome. And I read something a number of years ago where when two people smile at each other, it's literally a party in your brain, and that it is a sudden burst of dopamine that comes out, and it immediately builds this level of peace, and there is no harm here with me. I don't think a bad guy ever starts his antics with a smile, right?
Oh my gosh, that's really good. Yeah. So peace really does begin with a smile. Yeah. So go out go to Urban Market, go to some of our favorite Riverwalk District locations, Wild River Grille, Liberty. Give that waitstaff a smile because as we know, people are so short-staffed right now. And the people that are showing up for work in all industries aren't always having the best days because not that you would, but the customer before you isn't always the friendliest right now. So we could all use a smile in any industry that you're going to, just like the healthcare industry that we're going to get into just after this break, which we're really excited about. So with that, we have a great show. We're so excited. And I wanted to tell you a little bit to make sure to tune in next week. I don't know how I got Debbie conned into this, but I will be hosting next week as well. And we'll be at the newest brewery in town. And that is the Old Silver Peak on Wonder Street. And we'll be talking about the new owners, which is the Huntsman. So we'll be talking to Tim and some other groups down there and sampling some of their beers on site in location. But today we're on site at Prominence Health. So make sure that you're watching our below a live broadcasting information. We'll give you all of the website information. Go ahead, use our scan code 2 on the left. You can check out a ton of information about us and more about our guests as we move forward. So we have about a minute left. And I wanted to just make sure that we gave Debbie one more thank you. And she also has a big show coming up that's going to be Tequila, the Chocolate, and Romance. Between apparently tequila and chocolate go well together. They'll tell you why. And that will be at Chewy's at the Village at Ranchera. Have you been to the Village at Ranchera yet?
No, but I can say tequila and chocolate make me smile.
There you go, see? And the smile. It is a beautiful place. So the Ranchera now has Nyla Allen's new location, which is Dolce Vita. I actually have a massage book there on Friday. That's a good start for the year or the end of the year. And Chewy's is out there as well. And then, of course, the Ranchera location that has a great gym facility, restaurant facility, and all of those things. It's so great and fun to see. So with that, we're going to go to a break in just a couple seconds. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Mary about open enrollment.
Let's do that.
Which is so cool.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate a buck to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the new Rail City Casino. Play over 40 new hot penny slots, plus double down during the Party at the Pit Blackjack every Thursday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. And join us for Bingo After Dark every Thursday through Saturday night for your chance to win up to $1,000 cash. When you've worked up an appetite, visit the new Ale House for delicious specials to tantalize your taste buds. Visit the new Rail City Casino today. New slots, new games, and more chances to win.
After having my child, I was just thinking that I wanted to kind of get back to the size I was when I was breastfeeding. When I first came in, I didn't know if I wanted to go under or over, what size I wanted. I feel like they really took the time to educate me on all of my options. I've had a bunch of different questions. Paul himself has called and checked in with me. I was really expecting to be in a lot more pain than I was. It was a lot more pleasant than I was expecting it to be.
We can do this together!
All right, let's go!
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know!
I know!
You don't! Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No!
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this!
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
That's what you said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
Gosh, I love that theme song. Debbie, wherever you are, I'm thinking about you. We love you. And when you get back, I think we need a joint theme song that we can dance to. And we can come up with some TikTok moves that someone will have to teach me how to dance, I guess. A quick thank you again to Fenix Media, hair and makeup by Caliber Salon. Usually this is for Debbie. This is not representative of Caliber Salon's wonderful work. And Dee James is the wonderful musical artist. So with that, let's get back to Mary. Mary is here on site with us. We're filming live from Prominence Health, and we're just so excited. Healthcare, if not before, is now on everybody's minds. And if it's not, I think you live under a rock for sure. But sadly and positively, that is one of the biggest things that we're all talking about and is most important in our lives. I'm so happy to have you. My aunt's an ER doctor here in town, and my best friend's a nurse. So that's the little bit of experience I have. And what is your role here with Prominence?
Thanks for asking, Britton. I am the sales director. So my job is to make sure that all of the agents that sell the insurance are compliant, certified, and that we reach as many Medicare eligibles as we can in the service area that we take care of, which is basically all of Northern Nevada.
Oh, wow. That's big. So Northern Nevada, we're in company Washoe County. Mm-hmm. How far do you go out to the Lyon County and Douglas County areas?
Yes, we do. Lyon County, Douglas County, Churchill, Story, Washoe, Clark, all over the place.
Good. So you're like, that's actually all the places we cover at the engineering firm. So at least that's an overlap in our mapping, but not at all with what we do. So we're going to talk about open enrollment today, and I'm going to go full layman's terms because I don't know insurance from healthcare from anything I didn't see on Grey's Anatomy years ago when it aired. So tell me, what is open enrollment?
So in this regard, open enrollment, we refer to it as AEP, the annual enrollment period. In Medicare land, anybody who has Medicare already, most of the people who have Medicare are 65. However, if you are disabled, you can get Medicare. I met a Medicare gentleman, 20 years old. He was hit by a UPS truck when he was 17 and a half years old, and he got Medicare at 20. So open enrollment is for anybody in Medicare to explore their Medicare health plan options.
Okay.
Medicare is brilliant. It's wonderful. And most of the people on Medicare have traditional Medicare throughout the United States and Puerto Rico. It comes A, B, and now this thing called D. But during this open enrollment period, those with Medicare are encouraged to explore, do I need something else in addition to my traditional Medicare? And that's what Prominence is here to illustrate. We have Medicare Advantage plans that are designed to give you everything Medicare would give you, but more for less money. And we can get into details later when you express your Grey's Anatomy history with me. I'll show you what that would cost.
Yeah, so I mean, that's so funny, right? Because one of the biggest obstacles for reaching out for help for medical services is the unknown. You don't know how to ask, who to ask, or where to get started. So in this case, how would somebody just take a very first step? And they don't know if they're even qualified for an open enrollment. And they have their medical history, their current insurance. Is there a line they can call, or they email first? Things like that.
Excellent question. I think step number one is go through your billfold and do you have a Medicare card?
Okay.
And does it say Medicare A and B? If it says Medicare A and B, then they are eligible for these Medicare Advantage plans. If not, then they should call Social Security and say, I need all my Medicare benefits.
Okay.
That would be step one. And after they determine, yes, I've got Medicare A and B, then take stock. How did you use your health care last year and the year before, and did it work for you? Were you paying money hand over fist, or did you walk away paying nothing? Or were you turned away because the doctor or hospital you wanted to attend said, yeah, we don't take your coverage? Third, I'd say connect with a specialist, somebody who truly specializes in Medicare plans. That would be a broker, or you could simply call Prominence or log on to prominancemedicare.com, and we'll connect you with a very intelligent, certified broker.
That's great. So I will, full disclosure, I have Prominence Healthcare. We've had it back when it was St. Mary's and moved forward, and we have it we adore it. We love it. It's always been super easy. We've had, people with babies go through the program with Prominence. We have people with some pretty serious lifelong concerns that they are on it and happy. So we're a huge fan of yours. We don't have anybody right now in the office that would need Medicare, but it's such a great avenue, and the ease of access and how responsive things are. Because as I mentioned, it's not miserable like the DMV maybe, but it's scary because you don't know, and paying hand over foot, like you said. Yeah. People end up in emergency rooms and leave with $4,000 bills for a Benadryl drip, and they just, so they get nervous to ask for more. And this is such a smart way to sign up for future successes if you don't need it. So I think that's a critical thing, right? So even if you're not dealing with an issue right now, go check your card and find out where your standing is for the future.
Yeah.
So are there any other caveats or people that are new to the program maybe?
Yes. In that I think most of us, especially me, I think I'm bulletproof. I'm never going to get sick. A pandemic, nah, it'll never affect me. And lo and behold, it affected millions. Millions, some worse than others. So again, you want to take stock. How did I use my insurance last year? And do I want to experience that again? Could it be better on the other side? Explore your options. And it's not just about telemedicine, which is brilliant. The whole world, I think, got to know what telemedicine was this year and last for 2020. But are you restricted to certain pharmacies? And if you step out of that circle of restrictions, are you paying double and triple for what you thought was $1 prescription? Mm-hmm. I get it. Sometimes you have a crush on your pharmacist and you want to go where you don't want to. Anyhow, it might be worth it, right? But for most of us, you really need to take stock. Who's going to treat me when I least expect it? You want to make sure you have that in place, because this open enrollment window of opportunity is between October 15 and December 7. A few exceptions here and too, but that's the opportunity to get into a plan. In January, you're locked in for the balance of the year.
Right. And that's, honestly, if nothing about October chose to be true, it flew by. Yes. So November 7th is just 5 days from now. So you need to go, check your files, check your billboard, like you mentioned, get that items out, because things just go so quickly.
Yes. So next year, Prominence is going to debut a brand new state-of-the-art hospital, Double R and Longley, Sierra Nevada Medical Group and System. And it is absolutely brilliant. Here's one of the most redeeming features. All the rooms are private. You don't need anybody else to know your business when you're in there.
And if anybody has been to a hospital, there are some very awkward setups in other places.
It could get a little personal. Here's another motivating factor to explore at least a Prominence plan. Mm-hmm. Should you be hospitalized, it will cost nothing. We have Tier 1 hospital copay is $0. It is absolutely brilliant. So here's another advantage in exploring Medicare Advantage plans. So you've got your traditional Medicare, where Medicare says, hey, I'm going to cover 80% of your business. You take care of the other 20 until it's over. So there's no stop loss, right? But you and I as insured, we think, okay, how much do I pay every month? And oh my God, if something were to go terrible, like a pandemic, what am I on the hook for? At Prominence, you need to explore max out of pockets. $2,900 is all we'll ever let any individual pay for their healthcare in 1 year. At that point, you put your wallet away. It's no good here anymore. It really is incredible. And you need to also explore, are you holding separate policies for dental and eyeglasses? And do you have an Uber or Lyft account on your phone because you have none of your own transportation?
Yes.
And when you are hospitalized and you come home, do you have the luxury of meal prepping before you go in for an emergency? Or when you come home, what would it be like if you had 2 weeks of meals delivered to your doorstep? Make room in your freezer. Make room in your freezer because that's the space you're going to need.
I mean, this is not even insurance. I mean, it's probably how people wish insurance was, but
Yes.
it's not something you commonly hear or see in the media or in commercials. I mean, I think one of the most important things you mentioned too is it's not just an age segment that we're looking at. And so we deal with a lot of people, youth groups and otherwise that are in that, 18 to 24 age group. And they just assume, well, I'm stuck in this category because of my age, but they have many factors that have led them to the Medicare segment. And so they're in the system. They know all of the stuff that they have, but they don't have anybody to prep them on this new open enrollment.
And you know who I think really gets the shaft? Are the veterans.
Absolutely.
Millions of veterans sign up to serve and protect. Not all of them retire. They don't have a retirement medical plan. The veterans who did 4, 6, 12, 18, less than 20 years, they think, oh, I've got the VA. That's great. And you know what? It is great if you live in the vicinity and you don't, honest to God, need it. But it's the veterans who need to explore these Medicare Advantage plans. It does not challenge what happens in the VA stays in the VA.
Yeah.
But if there was an accident outside here on Longley and Double R, the VA doesn't cover it. Mm-hmm. It's between you and Medicare and those terrible deductibles.
Yeah.
Adding a Prominence health plan to your Medicare gives you the best of both worlds. And one of the most redeeming features is the premium is zero.
That's incredible. And I mean, it's a full scope of services. So we're running so short. It's going so fast with you because it's so fun. And that's talking about insurance. So where can people get more information
about wine?
Right. And next time we're having Mary back for just wine. Where do they get started today or how do they find out more besides just the things that we listed?
ProminenceMedicare.com.
Well, that's pretty easy. You guys don't have any excuses. So if you know somebody that's enrolled right now in Medicare or is looking to be a Medicare or is VAL eligible, as you know now from Mary, go ahead and take some more time to research any other items.
That's it. ProminenceMedicare.com. We'll take care of everything from there.
I love that. Thank you, Mary, so much. Next up, we have Danny, and we're going to let Deb's great song play out.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate a buck to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to GratisGives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to GratisGives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting GratisGives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
After having my child, I was just thinking that I wanted to kind of get back to the size I was when I was breastfeeding. When I first came in, I didn't know if I wanted to go under or over, what size I wanted. I feel like they really took the time to educate me on all of my options. I've had a bunch of different questions. Paul himself has called and checked in with me. I was really expecting to be in a lot more pain than I was. It was a lot more pleasant than I was expecting it to be.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
That's what you said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. Again, you are watching About Town Deb City Talk, and I stole Debbie's show today while she was out traveling. I am Britton Griffith with Reno Engineering, and so excited to be here today, not just for our sponsors that we are going to thank at the end of the segment, but for our very special second guest. Danny, it's so good to see you. So Danny, we've known each other.
I think YPN 20 under 40 is my first time.
Yeah, a couple years now. So I'm so excited to have you today and to talk about all of the things you have going on. You have so much, and you just offline, all the best stuff always happens before we get back to you guys. I know, but we're going to share it with you. We have a really cool photo that we're going to touch base on before this is over. But with that, Danny, kick us off with Hometown Heroes, which most of you know. Debbie talks about it all the time. We talk about it here in the community. We love what you do and your incredible story. So there's so much breadth to it that I'll let you decide where you want to start with how Hometown Heroes started.
Sure. Well, let's get the first thing straight. It's my hometown heroes.
My hometown heroes.
Because when you say my, you take ownership of it, right? So when I was diagnosed with brain cancer the day after I graduated college back in May 1999, I was supposed to go to Europe with my best friends for 2.5 months. I had a degree in electrical engineering. This is 1999 before the whole .com 2.5 year bust. That was a whole different story. But the people who were there for me at the hospital during those trying times, and I talk about this in my TED Talk, my hospital room became a bouquet of hope with dozens of floral arrangements, hourly visitors, and stacks of get well cards.
Nice.
So it was the people who were there for me who were my heroes at that time.
Yeah.
So despite graduating college at the age of 23, racquetball-sized brain tumor, I immediately found purpose because it wasn't no longer about me as for my friends and family, because I'm not going to let them down. They're here for me no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately where the concept of my hometown heroes began. And then it was my 10th year remission in 2010, because every 5 years in survivorship, 5 years is you're cured. So that's a big deal. So I reinvent myself every 5 years now.
Oh, I like that.
So in 2010, I decided I was going to celebrate my 10th year remission from brain cancer. I did my first Ironman triathlon in Canada, and I started my hometown heroes. And at first my hometown heroes was like, okay, I'm going to raise $10,000. It's either going to go to Livestrong, it's going to go to Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And a few of my friends and I went out to lunch and we started talking about it. And one of them said, why don't you start a scholarship fund? I was like, I had no idea how to run a business. I was doing really well in my corporate job at the time. And heck, I can raise $10,000, no problem. And so then, across finish line at Ironman Canada, reach our fundraising goal. And from 2011 to 2020, we've awarded, after this year, it'll be close to $200,000 in scholarships to college-bound cancer survivors from across the country.
That's incredible.
And it's never been about me. It's been about everybody who's rallied to support me. And this is what I do to pay it forward.
That my bouquet of hope is such a beautiful statement to use, because you used your hospital room to begin and you kind of translated that to an entire community and city. And now, so you're working with people across all state lines.
Yep. So application process for the My Hometown Heroes Scholarship always opens on November 1st, and the deadline is January 31st. And we're building our selection committee. It gets bigger and bigger every year. So if you're interested in reviewing scholarship applications, you really start to develop that connection to what this is like. This is where you really feel the pulse of My Hometown Heroes, is when you read the scholarship applications. It's like, oh, these guys need it, So
how special! I mean, those must be incredibly moving applications.
You probably need a box Kleenex.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, if you put Debbie or I in that room, I don't think you would have to roll Debbie out. She would be her heart's so big, and you guys, what you do at My Hometown Heroes, hearts are so big. So this year, do you have a lot of applications? You just started. It's November 2nd today, so we've got a couple months.
Well, November 1st is when the application process opens.
Okay. So
we have 3 months, and I think last year we had 35 different states apply for it.
Wow, that's great. So that's a huge, undertaking of exposure. So how have you found, is it word of mouth, friends that, join in different associations and they have experiences they share and then they learn?
Yeah. Well, coming from a background working for a startup company and really like learning how to leverage, people who have a vested interest. The thing I did right from the very beginning is I identified 2 other young adult cancer organizations.
Okay.
And I forged partnerships with them right away. So when they open up their grant application process, or we open up ours, there will never be enough money to go around. But if any nonprofit, but if we join forces collectively, even though we're different entities, we could still make an impact, because the majority of the kids. So in order to qualify for the scholarship, you have to be a resident of the United States. You have to be a cancer survivor. It doesn't matter when you were diagnosed, and between the ages of 17 and 39 years old. So it's really exciting, because especially young adults in their 30s, they tend to get overlooked a lot. So I'm always pushing for the underdogs in that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talk about, right? I mean, you've had the second chance at life. The second chance at life doesn't end for college just because you hit 24, 25, 30. So, people are always trying to say, reinvent yourself, reimagine your life. There's always, hope for the future. So that's so great that you joined immediately too with 2 other groups. Just the collaboration, how important that is. Good for you for knowing it, right? A lot of times in nonprofits here, globally, people kind of step on each other's toes because they don't know or they're not communicating. And so to start from just that joint effort right from the beginning is so incredible. So I know people are hearing this, being incredibly moved, and want to know how to help, right? Not just apply. So we have this really great My Hometown Heroes event that's popping up, and then we'll go into some other ways that people can show their support. So the fun one is, if you're from the 775, 702 area codes in Reno, Vegas, and all of our rural family and friends, all about poker. So we have an annual poker tournament with My Hometown Heroes. How can people get involved and show their lucky spirit?
Yeah, one of the wonderful things about our organization is if anybody has an idea, we collectively want to become a reality. So Brian Anderson with Granite Construction, he's
I know Ryan.
He's an amazing dude, just kind soul, and he wanted to help out, and he kept on throwing us this idea of a poker tournament. It's like, man, if you want to build the platform, we'll come out and support it. So it's a reality this year. Our inaugural Ante-Up poker tournament for college scholarships. It's at New West Distributing on November 13th.
I have had a poker tournament there. We did it for the Builders Association, and the New West facilities, you guys have to see it. You got to sign up. You got to go. I had no idea. You drive past it. You don't notice it's bright. It's stunning. Yeah. So it's so fun.
Yeah. So we strategically planned it to take place the same day as the San Diego State game, which is at San Diego. So the whole game is going to be broadcast on the big screens.
Very smart.
During the football game. It's going to be catered. It's going to be awesome.
It's really fun. So how do people sign up for this?
yeah, you just go to myhometownheroes.org/2021poker. And we have table sponsors available, and you can do individual buy-ins.
I love this. So if you want to play your luck lady, Lady Luck, whatever it is, on Saturday, November 13th, and go to www.myhometownheroes.org. So we only have 2 minutes left, and I wanted to share with our guests today and our viewers your incredible photo and the story behind it. So I think we have enough time with 2 minutes, or we can save it for the next segment. Otherwise, I think you should get that really cool photo. We'll tell the story.
Let's do it. So, you guys know Jen Eastwood, right? From Foundry. She sits on my board, and she's our PR seat. And she sent me a text in July. She said, "No promises, but would you be interested in flying with the Thunderbirds?" I'm like, hell yeah. And I grew up watching the Air Races. I grew up with the Thunderbirds. So it's like, okay, I knew that I was nominated. It wasn't guaranteed, but how cool would it be if I was chosen? So the Thunderbirds actually get to choose a finalist, and they chose me, and they have what's called the 9G Club when you go up in the Thunderbird. So we're on 1G of gravity right now. So you go up to 9Gs, it's like 1,800 pounds of pressure on your chest to fight off those G forces. So the blood flows out of your head into your lower extremities, and that's why people pass out. So there's so much to unpack with the story, but this was after the flight. Flack is what he goes by as his call sign. He was my pilot, and when I got off the F-16, he handed me this, and it's the America Strong campaign last year during COVID, one of their flyovers in Texas, and each one of the Thunderbird pilots, they all signed it.
It's so cool. And then this is this gal Michelle has a 5 upside down because.
So her name is Michelle Curran, and there's 6 Thunderbirds that fly during the air show, and the number 5 is upside down because she's one of the 2 solo pilots, and she flies upside down during the big.
So cool.
They have the knife pass where they go head to head. And yeah, so
I love it.
She's a badass.
I'm so
they're all badass. And then just in terms of like, I've always appreciated the military. My dad was in the Army, but I just hit the apex of appreciation for these guys that serve, because we're the baddest ass country on the face of the planet. Like, you don't want to be on the receiving end of our artillery.
Yeah. And you got firsthand. I'm impressed you went on one of those planes. You are a very fearless individual. I would be quite scared. Okay, we're going to be right back. We're going to have Danny stay on with us and talk more about great things going on here in Reno, Northern Nevada.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the new Rail City Casino. Play over 40 new hot penny slots, plus double down during the Party at the Pit Blackjack every Thursday through Saturday from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. And join us for Bingo After Dark every Thursday through Saturday night for your chance to win up to $1,000 cash. When you've worked up an appetite, visit the new Ale House for delicious specials to tantalize your taste buds. Visit the new Rail City Casino today. New slots, new games, and more chances to win.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming back and tuning in. We are already on our fourth and last segment. Danny's going to help me close out the show today. Mary's still in the room. You just can't see her. So hi, Mary. Thank you to Christian, again, behind the scenes, our producer and our Wizard of Oz that makes all this magic happen. And Debbie, we are thinking about you. So as a reminder, if by chance this is the first time you've tuned in to About 10 Deb, make sure that you learn more. And you can always find Debbie McCarthy at abouttowndeb.com. Follow her on Instagram, Facebook. She's always up to super fun things on Twitter even. And you can follow her around with all of her exciting wine adventures, community advocacy, and more. So let's give one more thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. Let's kick it off with Kim, just because I love you, Kim. Surratt Law Practice, who's the reason that Deb got to get this off of the ground. GratisGives Processing, Paul and Wrye Plastic Surgeons, Rail City Reno Sparks, Wild River Grille, and of course, phoenixmedia.us. So before we move on, we're going to have some more fun stories with Danny. We want to give a special, huge, heartfelt excitement to Design on Edge and specifically Courtney Meredith because she just won the advertisement Person of the Year, Ad Person of the Year, which we're so excited for. Esther with our CBA is going to be giving her that award because Debbie won it in 2020 and usually would pass off the baton, but she is going to be out of town. So congratulations to Courtney. We're so thankful that Esther took her place, and I will be sitting next to you when you get that award and to cheer you not just from here, but in real life and every day. So congratulations. And I know that Debbie is so excited to virtually pass the baton off to you. Again, we are filming live today from Prominence Health, which is a beautiful facility. Can't wait to the new hospital to be open too. So we'll have to tour that when that one launches. So with that, Danny, we have a quote of the week, and that was, let me go back. Peace begins with a smile. Mary had not only a scientific response, but a beautiful response about how your brain immediately releases these endorphins and all of these things so that you feel peace with a smile. Did that resonate with you or make you think of any story that you've had?
I heard it takes more muscles to make a frown than to make a smile. Is that correct?
That sounds, I feel like that sounds right.
So it's much easier to smile than it is to be in a bad mood, right?
Yeah.
It just makes you happier just to turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, and I feel like even with the mask culture, we kind of talked about this too earlier, even with the mask, people, if you'll notice, people still smile when they take photos. Mm-hmm. So there's something intrinsic that goes on with your face that you can tell people are smiling even when we're covered with our pandemic masks and cover up. So I think that that was a good pick for Debbie this week. So speaking of Debbie and her wine, have you tried Debbie's wine yet?
I've had samples.
You
here
did?
and there.
Okay, good. So as a reminder, you guys can go to Dolce Vita Wellness Spa, which I get to go to later this week, Mary Chewy's, Noble Pie, Record Street Brewery. Have you been to Record Street Brewery yet?
I don't believe so.
So
Was
do
on
you
4th Street?
remember? Yes,
Yes,
the
I
old Alpine Glass.
Yes.
It is so cool, you guys. So it's located in the Downtown Reno Partnership in the bid, which is usually why you see me on the show to talk about our ambassadors. But the Record Street Brewery is just the coolest space, and they have music there. Amy Burkett, that owns the Brie Bar, was just there this past weekend for a birthday party. And it just is so interesting and neat to see something of Reno that's actually historically able to preserve and then get to go and visit it. Sometimes we see things that are historically named and not quite able to enter. So that was a really cool thing to see. And I'm glad that you've been there. Their pizza is great. When a lot of these locations, the Shore, Mary Chewy's, the Refuge, and the Spa are all going to be part of the upcoming holiday deal hunt with the Riverwalk District, Downtown Reno Partnership, and the Brewery District. So stay tuned for that. We'll learn more about that at next week's show when we're at Huntsman Brewery. So the other location that's my favorite on here is the Urban Market in downtown. Do you ever get to go downtown?
Urban Market in downtown.
Yeah.
I've been there.
So it's on 3rd Street. It's part of, Commercial Row. And it's part of the new 3rd Street Flats. And what they've done is they basically created an urban type market that you would see in New York and all these other places. So you can buzz right in and then buzz right out. More importantly for Deb, you get the bottle of her wine. But they have a ton of local eatery stuff and quick bites to go, handmade sandwiches, and just such really fun, interesting things. You can throw a whole dinner party there, or you can just get lunch if you didn't bring anything on your way to work. So let's see. Next, what was the other one that we have? The Shore Room. Have you been to the Shore?
The Renaissance?
Mm-hmm.
I have.
I love the Shore. So we almost went there for brunch. They have a really great brunch. And then, of course, their happy hour is really stellar. So if you're ever in downtown Riverwalk District, definitely hop by to the Shore. So some of the places that we mentioned are some of my already favorite places to go. What's some of your favorite places to drink wine in Marina?
Favorite places to drink wine? Oh my gosh. You're putting me on the spot. Whispering Vine?
Whispering Vine. Okay.
Engine 8.
Engine 8, that's a good one. Liberty too. So these are the places, if you're watching, that you need to start carrying Debbie's wine. So with that, we are still talking about Hometown Heroes. So we have a great poker tournament that's coming up. It's going to be a New West distribution, which is just a fabulous place. It's going to be so fun. How are other ways people can support My Hometown Heroes?
Yeah, so we launched another program last year called Fund a Future, and it's a recurring donation platform to where, it's $5 a month, whether it's as much as a Starbucks, latte, $5 a month, or a subscription to Netflix, you can do it however you want, but we do have a century level where it's $100 a month, to where once you reach the $1,200, you actually have the privilege to call the recipient and let them know that you're responsible for sponsoring their scholarship. So if we get to building that by the end of 2023, we want to have at least 100 century level participants. That's $100,000 in scholarships with 100 people right there. Plus our other fundraising initiatives like Heroes Night Out, or, for the beneficiary of a golf tournament or something. But 100 people to do $100 a month in the whole continental United States, I think that's attainable.
I think it's attainable because you forget how much silly money. We went through it the other day. A debit card had gotten shut off, and you have to re-sign up. There's so many things you're accidentally plugged into that you probably forgot about. The Paramount TV sample thing that was $13 a month, and you never stopped your free trial. So you can easily count enough pennies.
Yeah, so it's the fourth quarter right now. If you need a tax write-off and you want to impact someone's life, $1,200 donation, you can call that recipient this spring once we finalize our candidates.
What a special way to connect with somebody. I love that. And it's attainable. Again, break stuff out, where you have memberships for all kinds of things. You could instead, for those of us that always sign up for a gym in January and never use it, you could just do this $1,200 thing and walk outside instead, although it's chilly. So with that, we're coming up into we've got a couple minutes left. We're coming into the holiday season as well, which means our neighbors are cold and our little kiddos are looking forward to some Christmas presents. So as you think and plan for the holiday season, both Thanksgiving and for Christmas, go ahead, reach out to, Project Karma Box, the VOA, reach out to the county, Nevada Youth Empowerment Project, and so many more. So in order to do that, you can reach out to me directly. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Don't contact me on Facebook. I don't go on it, so I take that back. You can also email me or reach out to Debbie through the show, and we will make sure to connect. But there's a ton of ways to start planning, and this is usually just about the time, which is November giving season, that you want to start looking into charities that you can help. So My Hometown Heroes is a perfect way to get signed up. We want to make sure that we're taking care of our loved ones and make sure that they have all their insurance requirements, which is through our Prominence Healthcare. So reach out on that and get these things onto your docket list so that we're not scrambling come, the last minute, an hour in December, like some people do, and they buy everything online. I have some people in my family that do that. So with that, let's do one more thank you to our sponsors and supporters. GratisGives, Hall and Wrye Plastic Surgeons. So I guess if you frown too much, you can call them. Surratt Law Practice, Rail City Reno Sparks, Wild River Grille. Thank you to the Riverwalk District, our Downtown Reno Partnership, and the Midtown District and Brewery District. So with that, Danny, any other hints? Any other ways people can be a hero or more?
I would just say, give people the benefit of the doubt. We're still going through trying times right now, and just be kind.
I love that. Yeah, that's true. And then we still have Mary in the audience with us. Mary, any closing thoughts?
I think everyone should smile more.
And Mary said everyone should smile more, which I absolutely love. So again, Debbie, we miss you. We love you. And I will see you all next week. And we will be located at the Heinsohn Brewery on Wonder Street. So if by chance you happen to be around while we're filming, you can come on down, get a beer on the house. Hopefully hundreds of you don't show up, but we'll be so excited. We're going to do some samples of their new food, their beer menu. I think there's 11 beers on tap now and some other really good snacks. And we'll have some fun special guests to share with you then too. So again, get a bottle of About Time Deb wine at some of the places we've located. Use that QR code that you see on the screen and go to the website to find more information. And lastly, say hello to About Time Deb wherever she is by following her on Instagram and Twitter. So with that, it's been a pleasure. We are at Prominence Healthcare filming live today, and we'll be live next week at Heinsohn Brewery. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Mary. Thanks to our amazing guests that are in the audience that you guys just can't see. And I will see all of you next week. Have a great November.